This is Renata. I'm doing part 3 of the success strategies from hscti.net/manual. I'm just screencasting the videos with my dad, Carl Hans Welts, that he has within the manual. So we're on part 3 is business, money, politics, and multiple Chi energy transfer. We're just going to finish out the success strategies.
Next thing to talk, the next example I'm bringing is about business success, about wealth, leadership, people skills, and political success. And the situation is quite similar to what happened with the weight loss. And a good friend of mine, who is a psychic consultant, once stated the following: basically, there are two reasons for which people come for advice. The two aids, namely getting laid and getting paid. And quite often, people come from some enlightening weekend seminar, and they come enriched with very deep knowledge about past lives, past life transgressions, karmic guilt that was accumulated there. He or she knows now, or thinks to know, about soulmates, past and present, of pink rays, of curses that came from lodges which they were involved in a past life, perhaps even curses put onto their mother that by some quirk of destiny attached themselves to the offspring. At the times long dead and totally unknown ancestors of 20 generations or more in the past, enough generations to have something like 10 million offspring, even more, are blamed for all of the misfortunes in life. And those ancestors, of course, try to take him over or her over. And that person, of course, is uniquely chosen from the 10 million offsprings. And from other sources comes often the deepest knowledge of freely invented secret history of mankind and bad karma collected during those olden times, and a host of other illuminations. This can easily distract from the basic problem for a while, even have people work for that outfit, of course, who promotes that stuff, to atone for past life transgressions that possibly never existed. And usually it doesn't solve present challenges anyway. And other good money makers, usually not for their attendance, but for the organizers, are motivational weekend seminars, where the attendants are taught to awaken the giant within and the like. Teachers all too often are hailing their own greatness and tell what they have achieved by exactly following that which they teach. Fact is, if somebody doesn't have the skills to play tennis, he or she needs to acquire such skills. Standing in front of a mirror, repeating, "I'm a great tennis player," over and over again, and hoping to win the Wimbledon tournament this way, is as silly as standing in front of the mirror, seeing oneself writing big checks, living in $1 million homes, and driving around in sports cars that are loaded with a bunch of willing lovers just waiting for the bedroom. As all this reminds me very much of the situation that is described with fat burning and a fitness industry that in some way is part of the problem rather than part of the solution. Blaming a have-not person for being in a bad financial situation usually is a distraction that doesn't deal with a real problem, and it adds insult to injury. For the person who is, in fact, serious about success, it is time now to get the facts straight. Poverty is mainly a socioeconomic problem. In fact, it's even more so than gross overweight. If you want riches, you need to eliminate the impact of socioeconomic conditioning first and foremost. And then you can actually actually acquire the skills to acquire and to handle wealth. No, I'm not talking about changing the system. If the system was fair at all, there would not be excessive wealth at all, and possibly no incentive to acquire it either. If socio-economic fairness was crucial for survival of the species, it would long have developed as a genetic trait of the species. And it did not. You know it, I know it. So if you want excessive wealth, be aware of the functions of the socioeconomic system in which you live, and which in fact does allow all individuals to have the unfair edge of excessive wealth, if they want to. And then use these functions to get where you want to be. In other words, this is a system that certainly can work in your favor as soon as you learn its ins and outs, how to use it, rather than allowing to be used by it. Feeling guilty about that? Well, then you are still stuck inside and victimized by the equality trap that helps so nicely all those folks who are just a little bit more equal than you and who thoroughly love that additional equality. Let's face it, inequality is part of the human species, part of our genetic makeup. No matter what idealists or equality mongers that often are motivated by vested interests are trying to preach. And so are the resulting socioeconomic structures in which we live, a result of our makeup as a species. You can either live up to this fact and use the existing situation and your innate human characteristic to get ahead, or you can decide to remain the runt of the pack for the rest of your life. The choice is yours, of course. Fact is that by now you have the equipment that certainly can help you getting this unfair, quote unquote, word which is mostly used by people whose unfair intent is to keep you in your subordinate place. This unfair advantage you can get now when you set your course to reach your maximum potential of wealth, of power, and also, if you desire so, of political influence. Use this equipment, and at the same time be aware that a human being does not end with the surface of the skin. As human beings, we are us and our environment. When we poison our environment with arrogance, with bad action, psychically poisoning it, with abuse of power and so on, we ultimately poison our environment and ourselves. They call the people who are subordinates the runts of the pack. They are parts of our environment. They are necessary to help your success if you decide to go up the ladder. Respect them, especially when you reach the top. This makes the difference between a good leader and a bad leader. Before you can deal with such questions, you need to get there. To do this, you need to deprogram yourself and learn the skills that you need to get to the top, first and foremost. Once such skills are in place with you, then you can open the opportunities for yourself, and then you can learn additional skills, step by step, all the way to the top. Naturally, the development of successful strategies for business success, for wealth, political power is more complex than was developing a strategy for weight control. Use your manifestation setup to maximize this task, and then use the equipment to open opportunity for you and to help you get to the top where you want to be. Now again, a list of pointers Use that which you consider appropriate for your situation. Number 1, situation analysis for wealth, power, leadership, and people skills, general situation. Think about it. Second, get the facts straight about society and the socio-economic environment in which you are living. Next, get the facts straight and study human characteristics. We are a predator society of leaders and runs. Every pack of predators is set up like this, and also of non-predators is slightly different. Get the facts straight about education. Have you ever noticed during your education that school kids from influential parents can get away with things that others never would get away with? Don't mope about it. Don't condemn human nature. We have been grown with it. We have been born into it. Learn from it. Schools do fit people, push people into roles of leaders and runs. Therefore, quite often, the education of so-called social skills is considered much more important than the teaching of other skills. The structure of the leadership of super tribes, some people use this word to describe countries, nations, is similar to the structure of tribes. There are niches for dominant people who do not make it politically, such as leadership in business, leadership in organizations, control of wealth, professional leadership, etc. Another very important thing is to get things done versus just being nice. Take stock of your situation and then set goals. Set long-term goals, set short-term goals. Decide what skills you need to achieve these goals, what skills are demanded, what changes of attitude you need in order to be successful. Follow through with action and boost it with your equipment. Consider alternatives with similar basic demands and solutions if availability of your original goal is extremely low. For instance, you can use what I call a wild card, just putting into it tremendous financial success from an unexpected source. This has advantages and disadvantages. Once you set it up, you very likely get new ideas you didn't have before, which show things that are more doable than what you planned originally. It happened to me like this, long ago. Set yourself up so that you can enjoy that which you are doing. That's a main thing to follow. Potential basic problems and mistake, of course, number one, first and foremost, the rent mentality. A result of the educational process in school, people learn their place in a hidden curriculum. Check out how it afflicted you and avoid the pitfalls. The impact of religion can be a problem. You have to work hard to earn your daily bread. Well, have you ever seen a priest or a preacher doing just that? I mean, being happy with just the daily bread. They know what to charge. And right so, they give a tremendous service to their communities. Then a lack of knowledge of communications. Communications have to be acquired. I'm basically a very shy person, and I had to learn to literally, nowadays I love to speak in front of a bunch of people. And another problem can be to assume that it's giftedness rather than skills that leads to success, and giving up. use, next thing to consider here is that to use the strong points of your situation, and you have them. Set yourself up to get the right strategy as much as possible and as often as possible. Set yourself up to get viable opportunities. Be ready for a big change that can give you what you want. Make sure that the changes will be profitable as well. And figure out the time it takes to acquire the necessary skills. You need skills for something brand new. We all do. And then go step to step and set up a plan for yourself to learn communicative skills, to boost learning of communicative skills if you don't have them. Learn to read people. Learn to read the body language of others. NLP can help you here. Learn to influence people. Acquire some kind of power mimicry, that you radiate power even if you feel you are not that powerful. It's like a bandit if it's done right. Develop opportunities where you can use and refine such skills progressively. Determine the direction that you take. Get ahead first using the skills that you have while you are acquiring new skills. Then the next step is acquired skills, and so on. Acquire skills and earn while learning if possible. Boost your own charisma and other skills. Use the equipment to boost your position of power in specific situations. Get increasingly into the procedures of the chosen business or calling that you follow. Become proficient in methods of marketing, manufacturing, or running the business, if it's a business, yeah. If otherwise, same thing applies for political power and leadership. Boost your skills to analyze several situations and then select the best ones for your success, the ones that match you best. Potential mistakes, I mentioned saying I'm powerful in front of the mirror hundreds of times. Ignoring the skill factor. Oh, I said again skill factor. Hoping that there is some kind of magic that puts you into a wealth and power position without you needing ever to learn anything or contribute anything to this process and to humankind. It's always a two-sided equation. You give as well. The more power you have, the more you can give. For many persons, some of these advanced situations, to achieve them, the manifestation program can be a significant help in combination with the equipment. I also suggest that you work at least with one heavy-duty device here. Further success strategies I have in preparation. I don't bring it right now, but keep looking at these websites, and I will also soon bring more detailed strategies concerning business, money, and power. Now I'm going back to the ladder of success for this situation of business, wealth, political power, leadership. Number one, analyze the situations and based on that, develop the strategy. Number two, work on your own attitude. Set attitude work as a continuous function with your equipment. Number three, develop your skills that you need. Set skill orientation and skill development as a continuous function. You learn more, you find out more as you progress. It's a natural path of learning. Number four, eliminate outside interferences and set a wild card to do this. You can call our customer service once you come down to it. Number five, prepare the general environment in which you want to achieve your success and protect against repercussion. Number 6, prepare the specific environment. That involves people as well at times. Number 7, set up your equipment to have a minimum effort for a maximum result. As you learn, you will know how to do this for your specific situation. I cannot go into specifics here because every person advances differently. Set the trends that you can hold success once you achieve it, that you can keep the success going. And number 9, go for the originally envisioned result, which is the actual trend energy. If a far-reaching goal is the result that you want to have, set a wildcard for the next step so that you can go and use the most effective methods. And again, set up your equipment. Again, goes points 1 through 9 again and look at it in every new situation. Work on these points with a separate setup. You can run many of them during the same preparatory time and avoid running such setups simultaneously. You are the target and don't have two different goals at the same time. Very important is that to set your equipment up to analyze your situation at the beginning, and this setting will provide you with important insights into the characteristics and intricacies of the situations that you intend to influence in your favor. Do not anything else during this time of analysis, and then continue with the next steps of your ladder of success when you are certain that you understand the subject matter and that you are ready to flesh out these steps of success with the appropriate trends or action. Go these steps one by one at first, and then you can work on additional points at the same time of preparation. Don't do it simultaneously. So give each of the points there 1 or 2 hours daily of energy work with your equipment setup, and follow up with action on your part, such as learning the necessary skill, doing research to find more out about it. The internet is a wealth of information you can get. And when you think that you have prepared yourself sufficiently, make another analysis based on the new situation, based on what you know. And whenever this analysis checks out well, continue with your work, basically going from what I said before, steps 4 through step 9.
I'm going to do this last section. Do the very short one.
Now a few words about transfer to others, especially when you do multiple operations. You can transfer the energy to friends and acquaintances so that they can benefit from the chi energy. And you can also attach some trend energies to those transfers. Whenever you decide to help several persons simultaneously, you need to follow a few rules. Number 1, you need to use a manifestation device or manifestation program for this purpose, because you need to set it in such a way there is equal distribution of the energy. Otherwise, the transfer will be irregular In such a case, the strongest person will draw the lion's share at first, while others get much less, until the strongest person is saturated with energy. In addition to this, you need to make sure there is no mutual interference of the operations. In other words, any individual operations that you set up should affect the person only to which it is directed. Number two, unless everybody gets the same trend energy, you cannot run trend energies for as long as you just transfer to several people simultaneously. Again, be sure the manifestation device or program is set for equal transfer of energy. Number three, you can have a different transfer diagram for every person. You can design these transfer diagrams yourself, following the instructions in the manual, and simply hand them out to persons whom you want to help. This is an advantage when you make several manifestation operations simultaneously. Number four, whenever you perform specific work, for instance, manifestation operations for yourself, remove all transfers from the equipment during that time that go somewhere else. Number five, naturally, the more persons draw from the equipment, the less the individual gets. A good rule of thumb, up to 3 people simultaneously on the middle of the line device, such as the LP or GDL or the RED 2000, and up to 6 people on heavy-duty devices.
Okay, so that's all of that. Thank you for watching.